Very big welcome to you, my dear Aries. So the sun now is in Gemini, and Gemini is the lovers, and the lovers is that moment where we recognize I do anything so that I can love myself. And you see that we understand that the light that we shine out to the people doesn't come from your partner. It comes from the integration of the masculine and the feminine within you. And then we can shine a light onto all the people. And so the 19 turns into a 10, the 10 and the 6 is the 16, and the 16, that's Mars. And Mars is ruling you, and that's the Tower in the Tarot. So we're going to look at Mars, of course, right? And see that the 16 is always that moment where things gotta go, so new things can come. But out of the 16, we can make a 7, and the 7 is the emotional intelligence that we recognize deep within us to understand this kind of shift and change. In the tarot of Gemini, the lovers looks like this, so it's really nice to see how different the cards can look. The sun in Gemini is giving the light to the moon, which is today in your sign. And so you get the chance to look deep within. What is it that I can shift in? Am I holding on? Am I excited in being with myself? What is it exactly that I still have the longing for deep in my subconscious? And so the 18 turns into a 9, the 9 and the 4 is the 13, and so there's always a transformation that then brings you again back to you, to the 4, right? And so this is how you can use numerology here in this reading. So we're gonna of course look at that. Then we are gonna look at the Pluto energy, because Pluto is the last judgment. Pluto is in Aquarius now, and it's going to stay for 20 years, and the judgment is the number 20. And Pluto is right now in retrograde, and so I'm doing a special on that one. But also what is happening today is that Saturn is in your sign, that Saturn has moved into Aries. And so this is a very special position that I want to add in, because I also did this special when Neptune moved into Aries, right? And now today Saturn has moved into your sign, and it's really, really important for you. You're gonna have now for the next 3 years Saturn with you, and for 14 years Neptune. So your life is going to shift and change dramatically, and we're going to look at that. Then we're going to look at you as the Queen of Wands. Now, I always talk about that there is a mix and that there is a pure Aries. And so the pure Aries goes from the 21st of March to the 9th of April. If your birthday is there, then you are a pure Aries. What does that mean? That means that the soul is in the Emperor and your physical body is with the Queen of Wands. Now there is a mix, right? Is your birthday between the 12th of March and the 20th of March? Then you are the Queen of Wands, but your soul is with the moon. And that I covered in the reading before, right? Just that you know that I am actually doing now the mix, because it has come up and now I am doing it. Then I'm gonna look at the King of Pentacles, which if your birthday is between the 10th of April and the 20th of April, you are the King of Pentacles as a human, right? But as a soul, you have here the Emperor. And so here you are a mix, right? And so it's important that you understand the mix, because it's a completely different energy, and you see it, right? That's why I'm using the deck from Aries as here the Emperor, and the deck of Taurus as the King of Pentacles. So you see that you are mixed, right? And you see that here, this is of course the pure Aries, and in there you are understanding that they act different. And so I want to bring that into the foreground. Back to the last reading where we had Taurus Sun giving Aries Moon the light. The message was, you're coming back to a childlike wonder about life. And you see how the child is sitting there, and there is a playfulness, and there is also the elephant that has come back. And it was a very beautiful reading. I do remember, that's why I take photographs of the reading, so when I look at the cards from last reading, I can check if there is a reoccurring card, and of course there is. So we can begin the reading. I begin with the Queen of Wands. She is getting the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is Jupiter in Libra, and Libra is opposite of you. Libra gives you the light to your full moon. And that's important because that's when you realize, okay, here is something that is talking to me very deeply through Jupiter, the expanding planet, and you're learning that the 4 and the 1 is the 5. And in the 5 we see the 5th chakra, we see the 5 senses, and in there we learn and we pull back from the 4 senses until here the heart, so that we can come into the space, into the 5. What is coming from the Mother Piece Tarot? You're getting the Moon reverse. And when the Moon is reverse, it's kind of like saying, well, the attributes that the Moon has here are not quite clear to you. You need to investigate. And of course, the Moon station has brought you here the empty well. And an empty well is literally saying, well, you gotta go deeper. You gotta go deep down. That's why it's reverse. So go deeper down into the well. Go into the 16, which is actually Mars, right? Which is the tower. So when you fall from the tower, we're gonna look at that in a minute, that you are arriving into the empty well. But that empty well is then again that place where you can replenish yourself. So already a very interesting message is coming to you. So here we have the 5, and the Moon is the 18 and the 9. That results from it, the 9 and the 5 is the 14. And the 14 is Temperance. And Temperance is Sagittarius. And here we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is ruling Sagittarius. So there is something going on here with a Sagittarius. And in that we get the 5 again. So the 5 is left, the understanding that you pull back from your 4 senses so that you can come then into that space where you can meditate and see, why is it that you have to now fall into the empty well, right? Because here the 16 is the 7 and the 9 is the 16 again, and out of the 16 the 7 then is left. Good, now we're going to look at the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is getting the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords came last time up as well. And you see how he's literally running towards you. You don't even see him coming at you. And the Knight of Swords is Gemini. And you understand that Gemini is really fast, right? If we would have read to the right, which is to the new moon, right? I would have placed a card here and he would have run away from you, but here he's coming at you and you don't even see it. It's almost like you occupied with other things. You occupied with the spiritual path here, and so the 2 and the 3 is a 5 as well. Now what is coming from the Mother Piece Tarot is Temperance to the left, and Temperance to the left, it's like pointing to you. And so the 14 and the 5 is the 19, and the 19 is the Sun, and the Sun is in Gemini. So you feel Gemini's energy, which is more airy and lofty, and you feel that something is pushing you to actually create something that is really not tangible for you because you're so rooted and you're so grounded. But listen to it, because here we have Temperance, here we have this dance that she is dancing with the fire and the water, and the 19 turns into a 10, and the 10 is always then the new cycle that is letting you know, start with a new 1 and a 0. Be crazy enough to start fresh and anew. Now, of course, I want to know, what is the soul aspect of Sagittarius bringing to you? And it's the 2 of Arrows. And the 2 of Arrows is Moon in Libra. And Libra is opposite of Aries, right? And you see that she is pointing with the arrow out, and that's Moon in Libra. And when the Moon is in Libra, it's literally saying focus, right? It's literally saying you gotta focus on things that are here coming at you. It's almost like here, if this Gemini energy is coming at you, put your mind between and block it, because Gemini and Sagittarius are opposite of each other, right? Gemini gives the light to Sagittarius full moon, which we're going to have this month. And so here it's almost like in the back of your mind, you know, you have these 2 thoughts pointing at him, and it's almost like he's attacking him, and she is actually making sure that he cannot attack you with these 2 thoughts. It's a very interesting combination that is happening here. You see that? How she's pointing directly at him, and he's sitting here like nothing is happening. And here is the dance of Sagittarius, right? Temperance being in the center, and Temperance is playing with the 2, right, with fire and water. So this is a very interesting combination, and you really hopefully get something out of this, because that's where you learn, right, where you learn that things are really talking to us, and in that talking we learn. Good. Now we go to Mars. Mars, the number 16. And what's coming from Mars is the gazelle. And a gazelle is so elegant, is so beautiful. It's a fire sign. And it's the number 8, right? Even though they are not numbered, I kind of numbered them. And so the 8 brings you the infinite coming and going, right? The infinite combination between water and fire, and seeing that when you're falling down, right, that she is there like a mother watching over you, and here's the sun. Now, what is coming from your deck? You're getting the 5 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands is Saturn in Leo. And Saturn, we're going to look at Saturn because Saturn has moved into your sign. So now all of a sudden, I think you are feeling that things are attacking you a little bit, testing you. The wands are always this like, let's do it, let's go for it, right? And so here we had the 16, which is the 7, the 7th, and the 8 is the 15. That's Capricorn. And Capricorn is the career. And in the career, maybe I think you need to kind of test yourself. You need to push a little bit what's going on. And so the 15 turns into the 6. The 6 and the 5 is the 11. Then comes the portal. Then comes the liberation out of it. But first, you got to accept that Mars is bringing you some motherly advice, right? So if we just calculate these together, we have the 5 and the 8. That's the 13. That's again the biggest transformation there is, which is death. And in that, you learn to test yourself. You learn to fight for yourself. The moon. The moon brought you the empty well, right? And so this is what happened here, right? We looked at through the Queen of Wands that the moon has come up, and the moon is literally saying, yes, when you fall, when you let yourself go, you fall into the empty well, because the 16 is here. So the 18 turns into a 9, then the 16 into the 7 and the 9. Again, we get the 16. You are learning again and again and again to look deeper within your subconscious, because in the well there is the subconscious, right? Then I want to see what is your deck bringing, and the Knight of Swords is coming a second time, and this is exactly the card that came last time too. But the Knight of Swords came also here with the King of Pentacles, and you see, right, one is attacking, one is running, and here this one, he is standing and he's focusing and he's holding the sword between his two eyes. And so here you get a clear 3-3 portal, right? It's obvious, right? Then we had here a 2-2 portal with the 2 of Aries and the King of Pentacles, right? And it's really interesting right now. She is like literally focusing at you when we place the card here, right? And she's saying, yeah, focus, focus. It's important to focus. And so here we get the 7 here, right? From the 16, the 7 is left, the 7 and the 3 is the 10. A new cycle is again beginning and letting you know how important it is to stay focused, particularly now Sun in Gemini. Gemini has come twice, right? And you understand that this is a very important message. Okay, what is Gemini saying? Gemini is bringing you the Hermit, and the Hermit is saying literally, go deep within. When you are in the empty well, then don't think about or talk about. Go deep within and start to reflect what is important in your life, right? And so here with the moon, which is the Pisces energy, and here Virgo, they're opposite of each other. So this is a 9-9 portal, framing here the 16 plus the 3, that's the 19, and that's the Sun. And then the 19 turns into a 10, right? So we have a 9-9 portal and the 10 in between. So go deep within, see when the well is coming, that it's important for you to understand the depth of your thoughts, of what is coming to you. What is the Hermit saying, particularly the soul aspect of the Hermit? I'm going to put the moon down. The 3 of Swords is coming, which is Saturn in Libra. And we had Saturn in Leo. We had the moon in Libra. And now we have here Saturn in Libra. So Saturn is going to bring up maybe some heartache, some situations that you haven't digested yet, and that's what you're looking at. You're up here, you're deep in the well, you are thinking about the things that divided you. That's why the sword is between the two eyes. Here you are sitting watching the 3 of Swords, and you have 2 swords and 4 swords already. The 2 and the 4 swords is the 6 and the 3 is the 9, and the 9 here is the 9, right? There you get a 9-9 portal, and you understand that the message is so strong, right? That Saturn is coming and pushing you to test your limits, right? And that you are seeing that moon in Libra is here, that you focus, right? And now you get in here Saturn in Libra, and you're seeing all the painful situations that happen to you, and you can resolve them and you can liberate yourself from them. Then we look at the Sun. The Sun is bringing you the change, the wind, the number 24. And of course the change is coming because you are getting now Saturn coming into your life. It's going to stay for 3 years. It's a guest that never leaves. So Neptune, 14 years is going to be with you. No, you're not dreaming about things anymore. You are taking action. And now Saturn, it's like you go through the biggest transformation. And this is what we see here, right? This is huge. So the 19 is the 10 and the 24 is the 6. guess what? Again, the 16, right? The Tower. Things are going to really shift in your life. You're going to see things leaving and coming, and you're going to be like, oh my God, when is this going to end? Well, altogether 14 years, but 3 years with Saturn and 14 years with Neptune. What is coming from Gemini? Because the Sun is in Gemini, you're getting the Two of Swords again. So now you have 4 and 2 are 6, and 6 and 3 are 9, and 2 more, 11 swords. Beautiful. So here you get a message that portals are important. Through the portals you can liberate yourself in this entanglement. You see that the birds are coming, and here's a raven too. He's sitting here. It's almost like he's leading this whole storm. And now you get another 2 raven here. And this is maybe where these 3 of Swords are, right? These ravens are like making you remember something. And so 2 times you get the moon in Libra. So Libra is really telling you, let go of whatever you now need to let go of, because it's happening, right? And you cannot stop it and you cannot change it. So here the 10 and the 6 is the 16, the 16 and the 2 is the moon. And the moon, right, which is of course in your sign right now, has come up reverse, and you see her here in the water, and it's a really beautiful card. The Mother Peace Tarot, I really love this deck. It's very mysterious. Is literally saying, well, now look deep within. What is it that you really want to let go of, right? And so it's clear, right? The 18 then is again a 9, and the 9 is go within, have a look, and know where you want to let go of the things that don't work anymore. Now, Pluto, the last judgment, is bringing you pair tree, cosmic search, the number 14. And so this was the 14, right? Sagittarius. Sagittarius is literally here for the King of Pentacles, right? And you understand that here comes a tree that is letting you know something important, and I'm gonna read it to you. The 20 and the 14 is the 34. That's a 7. And the 7, the emotional intelligence that comes when we fall into a well and let go. What do you recall? Remember that before this there was that my pear is so ripe, you out to reach for it, but you cannot find me. You sense me and my scent. Listen. Woodwind, whistling, whirling, a trance state whipping at the curtain that hides the other places. Will you not dance in and reach for my cosmic fruit offered, and serve the cosmos with me? And it's really interesting because what I see, woodwind, whistling, whirling, a trance state whipping at the curtain that hides the other places. The 24. There's a 20 inside. And so see that the message is so strong. And so the 20 and the 14, the 34, the 7, the emotional intelligence, have the emotional intelligence to know that a big message is coming to you. What is actually Aquarius bringing? Because Pluto is in Aquarius, the 6 of Pentacles, the moon in Taurus. And the moon in Taurus will be after this reading, so maybe you want to look at that reading as well. And the 6 of Pentacles is find an equilibrium, find a giving and taking. That's maybe why you are getting here the 7 and the 6. That's the 13, a big transformation where you are learning, I gotta wake up, I gotta understand what all of this is about, and I'm gonna really bring myself to a place where I can give and where I can receive, and where I am learning again and again. Out of the 13, the 4 comes, learning again and again to become myself in a more deeper and more evolved matter. And so this is what Pluto is bringing through Aquarius. And Aquarius is the star. If you want to be a star, you need to be awake. You need to see that everything is talking, and that you need to understand how important it is to not be pulled in any direction. Everybody wants something from you when you're a star. So now comes Saturn, that has just today moved in your sign, and the 8 of inspiration is coming, which is Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius has come up, right? And you're learning to see that you are awakening to becoming someone very focused, very clear, very action driven. You are going out there like an arrow. And so the 21 and the 8 is the 29, and the 29 is the 11. I can also, out of the 21, make a 3. The 3 and the 8 is also an 11. So see again the 11, see again the portal. Where are you going? Where's the world? Where's Saturn pushing you into? Into the star. You are the star. You are a star. You are the 17. Look at this. I mean, this is amazing. So here's the 11 and the 17, right? On the 17th of actually November, you may have felt Pluto going into Aquarius, right? And Pluto in Aquarius is bringing you now the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles is a beautiful sign, because it's literally always telling you, you can do it. You are understanding that, yes, certain things go, certain things are chaotic, but then I can also sit down and drink tea, because the 24 is a 6 and here is a 6. So then you can drink tea and you can like think about what is it that you want to do next, right? And so the 11 and here the 17, on the 17th of November, maybe you felt that Pluto moved then exactly into Aquarius, and you realized, now I want to be a star. A lot of people are waking up and saying, well, I want to be a star too. And now even Saturn is bringing you that, and you're going into that. And the 17 can turn into an 8. So this is the 8th of November or the 11th of August, another date that is appearing. But you see what's happening? You can be a star. You can be with the technology. You can awaken yourself into something much, much bigger that you never thought possible. Saturn is coming. The world is coming. And the world is now rushing into the stardom that everybody in this world can become, because Mercury is the magician, right? Mercury is the one, it is possible. That's the 8 that we talked about, the infinite 8 that is bringing us always a new perspective. And that perspective comes through the gazelle to you, because she was the 8, remember? And so become that motherly instinct, or come out from the motherly instinct into wherever you want to take care of yourself. Wow. What a beautiful reading. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Cancer. And Cancer is healing. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.